There are 6 signs that you're leading with the wrong mindset. And what makes this dangerous is that most leaders don't recognize any of them. They think they're leading, but really, they're just reacting and calling it leadership. After 35 years of working with over 10,000 companies, from Whole Foods and Wells Fargo to the U.S. Army, boardrooms, war rooms, and everything in between, I can tell you, these 6 patterns destroy leadership from the inside out. And every single one is driven by the same thing: your brain protecting you when it should be challenging you. I'll walk you through all 6. And if you're honest, at least 2 of these are going to hit. Now, before we dive in, one of the biggest signs of a broken mindset shows up in how leaders give feedback. Most get it wrong. So I put together a free guide on how you can give feedback as a leader. It's the exact approach I use with my clients. The link is in the description. Grab it now. Leadership meets neuroscience. I will overlay my brain C.R.A.V.E.S model to share the why behind each of these hidden signs that impact leadership. Brain C.R.A.V.E.S is my proprietary neuroscience-based model that explains the 6 needs our brain will protect. Once you see these C.R.A.V.E.S needs, you'll stop reacting to them and start leading through them. The C.R.A.V.E.S acronym stands for confidence, relationships, autonomy, values, ego, and safety. Sign 1, justification. You're explaining instead of evolving. You're defending decisions before anyone even questions them, explaining circumstances instead of examining outcomes, and rationalizing poor results with context nobody asked for. Look, justification is your brain protecting your identity, not improving your leadership. Every explanation is a brick. Stack enough of them, and you've built a wall around the very thing you need to fix. This triggers ego and values in the brain, so catch it. Notice when your first response to a result is an explanation. Then challenge it. Am I protecting a decision or examining it? And change it. Replace the explanation with a question. What am I defending instead of improving? Sign number 2, the social mirror. You're leading based on who reflects you back. You're surrounded by agreement. Loyalty is getting rewarded over truth. Nobody's pushing back. And that's starting to feel like confidence. And your meetings, they all feel smooth, suspiciously smooth. Honestly, if your team always agrees with you, you're not leading, you're being protected. A room full of mirrors doesn't show you the truth. It just shows you more of yourself. Agreement feels like confidence when you're in it. But really, it's isolation, wearing a suit, and calling itself leadership. This one triggers relationships and ego. Catch it. When was the last time someone on your team disagreed with you out loud? Challenge it. Are you rewarding truth or just rewarding agreement? Change it. Directly invite dissent. Name the person. Ask for the counter case. Who tells me the truth? And when's the last time I actually listened? Sign 3. You solve too much and ask too little. You're jumping in with answers before the question even finishes. Fixing has replaced developing. You've become the go-to person for every decision. And if you're being honest, you feel indispensable and exhausted at the same time. I mean, when you solve every problem, you become the ceiling for your team. Your availability turns into their limitation, and your answers turn into their cage. Solvers create followers. Askers create leaders. A fundamental philosophy of great leaders is to produce a culture of committed leadership, not compliant followership. This is the collision of your confidence versus their autonomy. Your brain wants to be useful. Their brain needs room to own it. Catch it. Count how many times today you answered instead of asked. Challenge it. Is this mine to solve or theirs to own? Change it. Replace your next answer with a question that transfers ownership. What question will create ownership instead of dependence? Sign number 4. You avoid radical, multi-angle feedback. All your feedback is coming from inside your team, customers, peers, outside markets. None of that's making it to your desk. You're hearing what's safe instead of what's true, and you've built an echo chamber and called it culture. If your feedback is filtered, your leadership is distorted. You're making decisions on a map that doesn't match the terrain, and eventually, the terrain wins. Comfortable feedback is expensive feedback. It doesn't send you the bill until later. This triggers safety and ego. Catch it. List the 5 pieces of feedback you've received. Were any of them outside of your inner circle? Challenge it. Am I hearing what I need or what's convenient? Change it. By building a deliberate feedback loop from 3 sources, a peer, a customer, and someone who doesn't work for you, where am I not getting feedback that I need most? Sign number 5. Emotional reactivity disguised as passion. You overreact and rationalize it afterwards. You take things personally and justify it as, I just care, I'm intense, and that's how I'm wired. Meanwhile, your team is walking on eggshells and calling it being careful. That's not passion. That's your brain in threat mode. Passion builds people, reactivity breaks them. Here's the neuroscience on it. When your brain perceives a threat to your ego, your safety, or your control, the prefrontal cortex goes quiet and the amygdala takes the wheel. So at that point, you're defending, not leading. And you're calling it intensity. Think of it like a smoke alarm that can't tell the difference between burnt toast and a house fire. Your brain sounds the same alarm for both, and your team pays the price. This one triggers ego and safety. Catch it by noticing the body signal. Clenched jaw, raised voice, breath getting faster. Challenge it. Am I responding to the situation or reacting to a threat? Change it. Pause. Name the craves being triggered. Then choose your next word. Am I responding or am I reacting? Sign 6. Avoidance of hard conversations. You're delaying feedback until it's too late. Then you soften the truth until the actual message disappears. Part of you is hoping the issue just resolves itself. And you keep telling yourself, now's not the right time, for the 4th time in a row. What you avoid today, you'll manage tomorrow at 10 times the cost. Avoidance is debt. And like every debt, the interest compounds while you're not looking. Avoidance gets dressed up as kindness. In leadership, it's the most expensive form of cowardice. The conversation you won't have is already shaping your culture, just in the worst possible ways. This one triggers relationships and safety. Catch it. Who's the person you keep meaning to talk to? Challenge it. Am I protecting them or am I protecting me? Change it. Book the conversation in the next 48 hours. Not soon, actually date it. Ask, what conversation am I avoiding and what is it costing me? The pattern behind all 6. Notice something? Every one of these 6 signs has the same architecture. A trigger hits one of your brain craves. Your brain protects you, you react, and you call it leadership. That's what I call being in effect. External triggers controlling your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. You're not leading, you're being led by a pattern. The move is simple, not easy, simple. Aware, choice, shift. Catch the pattern, challenge the story, change the response. That's how you go from reacting to leading, from in effect to act choice. CTA. Now, if you want the one mindset shift that sits underneath all 6 of these, the shift that changes how your strategy executes, how your feedback lands, and how your culture transforms, I broke it down in this video. Check it out right here, and I'll see you there.